Namaskar. Hello learners. Welcome to this session of networking, that is unit 34, or library and information networks and consortia. This is the topic. I am the course coordinator of this topic of that information technology application in library and information science. I am Professor Dr. Arun Kumar Chakraborty, Department of Library and Information Science, Netaji Subhash Open University, Kolkata. We will cover the now module 4, that is unit 34, that is library and information networks and consortia. So I am the course coordinator, I am also the subject matter expert in this unit 34. So this course is for the learners for MLIS for both Open University as well as the university, different regular university learners. So the target of this audience is not only for the learners, those who want to appearing for exams, competitive exams for the job purposes, or you want to, after your job, you need the intensive training how to go about it, because when you study, you may not be able to cope up with everything. So how do you go about it? So welcome this video lecture on the library and information network and consortia. You know that in today's digital age, libraries are no longer isolated entities, but rather interconnected nodes in the global network of information providers. See, earlier the consortia was like, say, print resources consortia. There are a lot of consortia was happened, the print resources consortia, book, general delivery. So we used to call as a interlibrary loan. Now this consortia formalized in a digital area, and then they started the cooperative purchasing of this kind of things. It started. So complexity and the cost of information product resources has increased. It's a combined effect with the need of the libraries to provide seamless access to information and have made a collaboration and resource sharing is essential. So that we have to think about that. So library networks and consortia have emerged as a key mechanism for libraries to collaborate, share resources, and provide enhanced services to their users. So this collaboration initiative enables libraries to leverage their collection. There is a collective strength. Why this collective strength is required? To reduce the costs and to improve the services. So in this lecture, we'll explore the concept of library and information networks and consortia and their benefits and challenges. And we have to find out the key components. So we'll also examine the role of library consortia in resource sharing, in a digital library development, and professional collaboration. By the end of this lecture, you will have a deeper understanding of importance of library networks and consortia in a digital age. So learners, this module 4, unit 34, the library and information network and consortia under the course for 6, information technology and application in LIS, aims to provide you with a comprehensive of understanding these concepts and its significance. So this course is a students appearing the exam for the job. The objective of this unit to describe the resource sharing is a concept. What is a resource sharing? Resource sharing is a concept which includes many cooperative activities between libraries and other information centers. Advent of IT, information technology, and ICTs, information communication technologies, have opened up new opportunities for greater cooperation. ICT is a transforming world society into an important force to reckon with the activities of taking a center stage in all spheres of human endeavors, inclusive of libraries. So, digital interactions, collaborative approaches to digital repositories, providing content consortiums and other practical experiences for sharing resources are promising. We have to think of that development of in this recent services and also the working target of the document workers, and the key point is to development of digital resources. So learners, the purpose of the digital resource development is to use and share library and information resources respectively, and it has to be an effective communication of information. That has to be think of that. So we will find different persons have given the different literature review of gun on this consortia. If we go and see the different consortia, when you go for the consortia lecture and all, or you want to write on something, no. So until unless we know how these people, how the consortia people have come and all, that has to be knowledge to us. That's what I have given some literature review of, say, Naroji Chakraborty in 2012 offers that the issue of cooperation between the library centers is not a new one. The issue of resource sharing was raised in the 70s, but past facilities varied with the not modern ones. So it has varied with the modern ones because the digital technologies has come. The use of access is more important. So today, in addition to the technical facilities and hardware in this regard, the cultural issues is also important. It is not only the consortia, because of the cultural issues is important. The first question in sharing resources is the consent of the organization. So that means why is culture? Because if I am organizing, if I am not acceptable to anyone, if I am not able to accept others, so that means the consent of the sharing of the resources is one of the key point for any of the consortia. That comes the culture. We say that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, once we say, that means consortia, it gives a impact on this. Then Posnar 2012 believes that librarians are in a good position to understand and mediate among all stakeholders, so that individual and societal interests are in the learning, in creating a new knowledge, are ultimately served. Instead of merely minimizing the risk to their institutions, they should instead lead discussions how to improve the system for everyone. Therefore, it is vital that the librarians make all parties, including the public, and understand why open force. So convenient resource sharing is a crucial to scholarly communication and popular center, and to protect what is stake, the intellectual development of individual society. So those who are doing this one, please record from this introduction. You start the slides, not before that. Now, the friends, introduction. The objective of this unit 34 is to describe main objective to facilitate the access to information to the shared computer resources, and the increase the universe of publications, e-content licensing, document delivery collection, sharing, etc. are the main functions of the consortia. So, to promote and support adoption of standards of library operations. So, to create database for projects, specialists and institutions to provide online information services. To improve the efficiency of housekeeping operations. To coordinate with the regional, national, international networks for exchange of elucidate the concept of the library and information of the consortia. To generate new services and to improve the efficiency of the existing. To explain the need and basic characteristics of the library network and consortia. to discuss the services and activities of the typical library network. In this consortia, it is not only the resources, human resources also important. If you exchange the library personnel from one center to another center in India and even amongst the other institutes, so that way the consortia becomes more important. You will know that the best practices done by the other libraries, you will be able to absorb that one, and you have to inculcate that resources. You can inculcate that habit, so you can do. So I have given the online lectures, outline of the lectures, introduction of the objectives, history and evolution, then chronology and the development of the networks in India, characteristics of the consortia. What are components of the consortia? Consortia types of library network based on the library activities and references. So activities and services. Advantage of the consortia. What are the disadvantages of the consortia? And then the library consortia India, summary friends. At the end, I have given a summary conclusions and then key takeaways and then exclusive short questions, MCQs, bibliography and references. Now friend, introduction, that is one. The lecture will start from this outline of the lecture. From this, the slides should start. Now introduction. The objective of this unit 34 is to describe what are the main objectives. The main objective is to facilitate access to information through a shared computer systems and networks. Increase the universe of publication, because if we are more using the consortia, the people are able to access the more resources. So universe of publication increase. E-content licensing, document delivery, collection sharing, etc. are the main functions of the consortia. What are the purpose of the consortia? Controlling building cost by providing regional storage facilities, to meet the need of the people, to collect all documents published at the national and international level, to overcome the language barrier. The need of consortium to collect all documents published, to eliminate the different types of projects, etc. These are the benefits of the consortium. It combines the resource available in the library. It provides better, faster and cheaper services at least cost. What are the history and evolution? Library networks have their roots in the library cooperation and resource sharing been practiced for the centuries. So the use of computer for automated generation of indexing and abstracting services in early 1970s and subsequent idea of sharing such massive information to the communication network gave birth to the concept of online databases. So these initiatives led to growth of the development in computerized databases, online search services like Dialog, BRS, DMDL. These are the earlier services. The American Library Association and the US Office of Education Library and Information Networks and Consortia co-sponsored a landmark national conference on inter-library communication and networks held in Washington, Virginia, USA in 1970. So some of the important library networks at international levels include the OCLC, RLG, CURL and JISC. So what is the chronology of development of networks in India? So it was in the mid-1980s that the telecommunication boom came to India and networking was given thrust by the government of India. So if I have given a size, that year of the nature of network, name of the network supported by. So now 1977 in NICNET, NIC. 1986 Calibnet, it was by NISAT. Then 1988 InfiniNet and the UGC. 1992 Delnet and NISAT. 1993 IDNet, Ahmedabad, NISAT. 1993 Malignant Chennai, and that is done by the NISAT. Then Malignant Chennai was installed, Malignant Mysore NISAT, and Ballnet Bangalore NISAT. So this has given a chance for the restricted network to become global network, and almost all networks and use of internet for dissemination of their networks. So characteristics of this one. Now friends, again start characteristics of the consortia. So what are the characteristics of consortia? Library and information networks are characterized by the following aspects. Equal opportunity of access to all members. So a library network provides equitable access to all the core resources to all its members. Interdependence. Members of a library network depend on each other for sharing their resources. So interdependency may go beyond sharing of documents, resources to sharing of expertise, manpower, equipment, etc. Use of standard protocol, use of common standards and protocols in preeminence of successful. Uniform implementation help to improving the equality of the services and appropriate. Shared decision. The decision of the members of the executive committee of a library and information science networks are equitably applicable to all members institutions. Broad-based library network services. The library and information broad-based services manage the library services, e-governance from the publishers, table of content services, databases of experts in various disciplines, etc. So what are the characteristics of consortia? The library and information networks are characterized in the following. Centralization. Network activities are generally centralized. Large bibliographical databases are centrally located, centrally stored. The maintain distributed databases with a single search interfaces. It is, however, possible in a standard protocol. Economics. The cost involved in maintaining the activities and functioning of a library consortia. Licensing. Third-party databases get distributed. International research and opportunities for further collaboration. The network may contract to the other network services, research and development, all these things. Then component of the consortia. What are the components? Major components of library consortia are human network. Until unless we have a human network, most important component of a library network is the manpower. And their willingness to participate in the library network and share the resources of the respective libraries. Online databases. These are the services, internet services providers, centers on developing contents and making them accessible to the member institutions. Computer hardware and software. What are the services are used to host databases, digital object, browsing and search interfaces to facilitate their access. So, components of the consortia, data networks. The servers of the library network are required to be booked on the internet, so the JNet, EarNet are the important data network in the UK and USA respectively. Number of members in the library networks is a yardsticks. Substantial terms of the clauses. Then what are the different consortium types? There are different varieties of consortium types. Library and information networks. Now that is a large promotion of the resource sharing activities among the member libraries. Large network like OCLC, RLN, small networks like Forza, Influnet, limited purpose of network. Now Influnet has gone a ONS, so it has got now not in a small network consortia, it is becoming huge consortia from the country. It is becoming a backbone of the country consortia. Forza, SEDA, limited purpose network connectivity. So consortia, what are the consortia type? Types of network-based services, geographical region, city or metropolitan library network like CalibNet, BellNet, AgriNet, PuneNet, BoNet, all these. Regional library network like Albania Public Library Electronic Networks in South Australia, Canada are examples of the regional library network. National Library Network, that is the Influnet Information Library Network of Ahmedabad in India. Then the National Library Networks and Information Systems, CALIS in China. And then you have in India and China, Academic Library and Information Library Networks. The library networks in the OCLC can be considered as international networks. More than 25,900 libraries is member in 170 countries. What are the types of the networks of the library network? Umbrella or supermarket. Some of the networks such as OCLC are umbrella or supermarket, because while umbrella and supermarkets type of the cooperatives of such networks for accessing selecting databases or using its union catalog. Bibliographical utility networks. The most common purpose of the library network is that the multiple purposes forms. Most other activities such as creation of union catalog documents delivery services. OCLC provides of these services of these. So types of library network is online search service network. Some of them understand dialogue, Orbit, STN, BRS, Datastar in USA, Blaze, and CAN, OLA of Canada, most of this one. Then Service Center Network. Service Center Network concentrates on the providing services to the member library in a network environment, such as Illinois Library Information Network, ILLINET, networks for subscription to electronic resources. Although the most library networks are undertaking multiple activities, group licensing, purchasing are there, then activities and services. A library network can offer number of services depending upon the advantages of network, like cooperative cataloging. That is, the catalog of a library is an index to its collection. Likewise, the union catalog of a library is in a sometimes on the network. So that services should be there. The union catalog was therefore taken up as one of the first activity by most of the library networks. The sharing of a cataloging service began in a centralized cataloging and distributed cataloging point in the Library of Congress in 1901. British Library Network National 32 Resource Sharing Library Network BNB was launched in 1950 and accompanied with the catalog card services. So database services, the library network subscribed to the including bibliographical databases, resources hosted locally in their members' libraries, document delivery services, that is the Indust Consortium started the document delivery services, JCC Consortia, nickname of this IIT, Indust Consortium, IIC Consortium, all these things. Interlibrary of the loan document collections. In a library can broadly be classified in two groups, that is collections and caters to the core interest of the institutions and the other services that previous interest. Shared electronic references, real-time reference service, electronic references. So then activities of services is that collective acquisition of the resources, collective acquisition of the resources. That is the goal of a library network, is a collective acquisition. Consortium purchase, consortium-based subscription to e-resources is a way to maximizing access to the e-resources at a minimum cost. So it is a feasible strategy to increase access to electronic resources across institutions in a lower cost. Consortia-based services are with the library network, increase the cost-benefit analysis, periodical subscription, promote the rational use of funds, provide opportunities of the local storage, hosting, subscription facilities, prompting institutions, then joint archives and cooperative storage facilities. That's besides the subscription to this one, and full text electronic resources and bibliographical services. The library network may invest in purchase of the back volumes of journals and costly references sources, and several publishers including the Elsevier Science, Science Direct, EBSCO, all these things, they are doing of this job. Now friends, what are the activities and services? Shared digital library project development. A library network may be extend its activities towards shared digital library projects. Some of the important activities that setting up a interoperability, electronic submission of thesis and dissertation, electronic preprint server for members of a network, web-based union catalog of journals and other serial publications, web-based union catalog for books and cooperative cataloging of internet-based electronic resources. Training of users and library staff, that is important because training program is a crucial requirement for including functions of a library network to facilitate optimum use of subscribed electronic resources. Technology support to the member institutions. All libraries invariably require consultation and expert advice for implementation of the new technologies because every day technology is changing. Communication service among members. Continuous communication among the members of library network is considered in a lifeline. List server, mailing list, also electronic resources. Websites you have to go. What are the advantages? Some of the important advantages of the library consortium are as follows because it is available in a 24/7 days. It has got a search bibliography, full text of search of bibliography or full text articles. Journal is available much earlier than print also. Avoids duplication of the resources. Provides access to wider range of electronic resources at a lower cost. Helps to develop common resource databases, optimum utilization of the funds, facilities to build up digital libraries. What are the disadvantages, friends? There is a copyright problem and misuse of the research materials that is to be done. Absence of the printed copies of the journal. Internet access is necessary. Combination of essential and non-essential journals. It requires high individual initial interest. So upload. Then consortia in India, there are different consortia network in there. Forum for resource sharing in astronomy and astrophysics. FORSA, one of the consortia where we are the members as a Bose Institute. Indian National Digital Library Science and Technology Industry Consortia. There are the IITs and IIMs for consortium. Infonet projects of UGC. Health Science Library Information Network, HealthNet. CSIR Journal Consortia, that's called MISCARE Consortia. It was a CSIR and DSTE Journal Consortia. I was also one of the coordinators for this purpose. Then Consortium, Department of Atomic Energy Libraries Consortia. Indian Institute of Management Library Consortium, IIM, besides efforts to develop, there's a consortia, ICAR, ICA-MER, ICSSR and others. However, if you look at e-journals at a competitive functions, prices and sometimes sharing of the journal resources. No consortium aims at sharing other resources, especially in the print resources, which still form the major part of the Indian libraries. Thus, their functioning is limited for e-resources. We see that. So, Infonet, IIM Consortia, SpaceNet, SigNet, Consortium for e-resource in agriculture, ICMR Consortia. So, consortium libraries in India, if you say that the UGC Infonet in the digital library was stated and it was in December 2003 by Honorable our former Prime Ministers, the President APJ Abdul Kalam, the President of India, former. The consortium provides current as well as the archival access to more than 10,500 plus core and preserved peer-reviewed journals. So, consortium has also launched associate membership program where private universities and other research institutes organizations are welcome to join the consortium. As of 2017, we found the record. More than 7,230 records are there, 16 databases, UGC Infonet. You will find list more than 6,000 e-journals and 97. All these are changing because of the ONS, One Nation, One Subscription is introduced by our Honorable Prime Minister of India, and I have also a special one of the unit for that how you can join in ONS, that how the consortia is boosting in that you will be able to know. Then some of the other consortia enlist, that is National Library and Information Services Infrastructure for Scholarly Content. Enlist is jointly executed by the UGC Infonet, Digital Library Consortium, InfoNet Center and the Indus ICT Consortium. IIT Delhi Enlist projects was there. The Industry ICT Consortium, that is ingested by NHRD in 2003, and then the Industry AICT Consortium also came the 1234, right? Then SERA Consortium for e-resources in agriculture and established in November 2007 to facilitate the accessibility of scientific. ERMED Consortium, there is an electronic resource in medicine consortium, is initiative taken by the DGHS and MOHS, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and started in 2008 in India. 17 state and centralities, including the AIMS also included. HealthNet Consortium, Health Science Library and Information Network. It was by Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Science in the state of Karnataka, started in 2008 too. And then you have a Delcon Consortium, DBT e-resources consortia, Delcon Consortia, including the ICGBA, annual institutions, BIRAC, etc. Then issues related to the lack of awareness about the consortia and its benefit, lack of technological compatibility, licensing issues, access for a defined period, multiple consortia membership, problems in budget allocation, motivation principles. These are the, I say, InfluNet, Telnet, AlidNet, AliNet, MindNet, etc. These are the consortia what we discussed. Friends, what are the related issues in the information network? The objective of the library information network for resource sharing. Library network must follow one bibliographical standards, but selection of a particular standard is a subjective issue which needs to be addressed by every beginning, from very beginning. Growth of literature is there in all languages in such a multilingual environment, rendering services. So a system is to be generated of this. Then consortium academic, then consortium of the core electronic, South Asian African National Library Information Consortium, consortium of university research libraries, electronic resources in the Asias, and the IOCL International. Now friends, I would like to summarize in stating that today libraries are facing an increasing demands for services which struggling with the challenges such as rise in the information resources, high cost of library materials, high expectation from the users, budget cuts, and much more. So consortium is in need of the hour. Library consortium are created to help libraries to obtain better prices by buying joint access for a greater number of users, expanding access to print and electronic collections, developing new services to meet their users' need. Library consortia, libraries can acquire more resources by paying less if they are members to gain access to more resources than might be otherwise. The institutional document. Through this library consortium, the collective strength of resources of various institutions available, it can be created, incorporated. So that's has to be known. So in conclusion, sharing of information resources in the library is an important indicator of the level of the development. The concept of information resource sharing is a strategy has become important issue facing libraries. It is important for librarians to establish a correct concept in the literature resource sharing. It should be establishment of the digital information. Implementation of that will require sometimes. Then summary, some of the key trends of this one you have to find out. Then conclusion. The unit decline, there is that the activities, services, library networks consortium. It begins with the introduction of the development of library. Thereafter, the activities of the InfluNet, calls, IOCL, etc. should be there. So, consortia enable libraries to gain the benefits of wider access to the electronic resources. So, information resource sharing is there. Friends, what are the key takeaways? Collaboration is the important, resource sharing is essential, digital libraries require collaboration, consortia facilitated professional collaboration, effective governance is critical, libraries and services. Friends, I've concluded, but in the end, I have given and disclosed some of the exercises, the short questions. You can go through these short questions. This will help you to acquire knowledge and for preparing for exams. I have also given some of the MCQs that you have given. And friends, I know that this course is developed with some of the references. So bibliography of references at the end is given. I hope, friends, my dear colleagues and the scholars and the learners who might be get benefited from this lecture, because they may appear for the exams. For the learners, they acquire the credit courses, or they, if they want to update themselves, or for implementation of these things, that may help. Thank you very much for listening patiently.